Welcome to A Time of Shadows on the OG. Anyway, that was the music was from Time of Shadows.
He provided the music for our upcoming short film that we will be putting out on Halloween. And the name is Jack, a Ripper story. So hopefully you'll tune in to see that.
But the guy tears things up.
Yeah.
He rips things. But before we get started, today, well, maybe not today, I don't know when you're watching this, but today, as we are filming, it is Sherry's birthday. Everybody put in the comments, happy birthday. Increase engagement, yes.
And thank you to everyone who watches us that left me comments today. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I felt all the love. Thank you, thank you.
And just so you're wondering, today she is... So, welcome to our first OutGhosted Halloween Q&A, where you, the viewer, have asked us what's the burning questions on your mind that you want us to tell you about.
And first up is Super Night PTV with an underscore in there. Hey, we have one too.
With an underscore.
Yeah, we have to say that a lot. It's just like _ghosted. So, thank you, Super Night, for being our first question. And he had asked, what age did you guys experience your first supernatural? And what is your aha moment becoming paranormal investigators? So what age were you when you experienced your first?
I was probably around 7. My father's uncle used to live with us, and he passed away when I was roughly around 6 or so. The thing about it, there's 2 things you really had to know about him. One, he had this really heavy cough, and he had a very distinct cough. It was a, you'd pick it out in a crowd. The other thing was that, well, he wasn't much of a bather, and he had a certain scent to him. Well, after he passed away, his room that in our house downstairs was converted into like a game room. And one day I am sitting in the family room, which was right outside that game room, and I'm watching TV. Again, I was probably around 7 years old, and all of a sudden I could have swore I heard, ah! I'm like, and no, my initial reaction was, ooh, a ghost. No. What was that? But it sounded like it came from behind me where the game room is, what was Michael Vincent's room. So I get up, and I went and I opened the door. And as I opened the door, I got hit with that smell. Oh. And I'm telling you, it was a very distinguishable smell. And yeah, it hit, and as fast as it hit me, it went away. And I couldn't even find the smell.
Yeah.
You know, it gone.
That's where the scent, to me, where I believe it becomes more paranormal, because the scent wasn't physically there. It's something that you sensed, like your olfactory perception, type of thing. So
I don't know. It smelled pretty real.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It tricks you.
It was real.
You have that,
I mean, granted, we're going back at least over years.
No, but I'm saying the fact that you said that it wasn't really in the room, you couldn't smell it afterwards. Like, it wasn't really seeped into the furniture or anything like that. It was just a scent that almost like you experienced in a paranormal way, you know? Yeah, I mean, that's what I think.
Either that or as I opened the door, a very stinky ghost flew past me.
Or that, yeah. That's true. Could have just been his...
whoosh, and then...
Yeah, his BO in the afterlife. I don't know. But when...
Was it BOO?
Oh.
Ghost. What was your first?
I was age 10. I was coming around the corner into the kitchen, and there were 2 windows side by side. And as you kept going around through the kitchen, there was the entrance, that led to an outside. Well, when I came up to the first window, I looked out and I saw a girl coming up the driveway. She had a pink dress, blonde hair, and a white knit hat. So naturally, I kept walking because I was excited. Oh, someone's coming over. Like, they're going to knock on the door. I went to the second window, and she didn't make it. So me being like young, not having that stranger danger kind of fear, I kept going, went to the entrance to go outside the door and look in the driveway, and no one was in the driveway. So there was no time for her to like, turn around and go back to the street. We remember that driveway.
Yeah.
It was pretty long. And I didn't see any car pull away either, so I just never really, really knew what it was.
We're dumb.
So we forgot to answer Super Knight's second part to his question. The aha moment!
Okay, what was our aha? Aha. So our very first investigation we did at Rose Hill Cemetery in Matawan, New Jersey. And what happened was we were going to do an actual investigation with like a team and, pay money to do whatever, just for the fun of it. But, what was happening in 2020?
COVID.
The plague. And we didn't want to do this whole thing with the masks, and it was like August, and like sweating our butts off with the masks and things like that, and social. And so we decided, let's try doing this on our own. So Sherry actually found Rose Hill Cemetery, which is right down the block from
the street.
Yeah, it's like a stone's throw away from where she
lives. And yet
lives.
I didn't know all this time I had the most haunted cemetery in New Jersey. Good Lord.
That's how every video says that. The most haunted place ever. The most haunted bridge. The most haunted store. The most haunted... Oh, anyway.
No, but seriously, you could not ask for more packed into one cemetery.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories in there, and we keep saying that we really want to revisit that place. So, we did a little investigation when our friend Monica came along, and it was very bottom basic. We had some digital recorders. We had a spirit box. And we filmed it on our cell phones. It was very basic. But going back over the footage and listening to the recordings, what happened?
I was sitting on the couch. I had my digital recorder. I wasn't even enhancing the audio. And I heard the clearest EVP come right off that. And I was confused because for a minute there I thought there was a fourth person. But come to find out, there definitely wasn't.
Or there was. They just different plane of existence.
But we'll play that EVP for you now.
You can speak to us right.
The thing about that is, it definitely sounds like a child's voice. Now, it was like, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning in a cemetery with no kids there, And so as far as an aha moment, that right there is what got us to go, you know what?
I think we're coming back again.
Yeah. And we're continuing this whole thing going on.
Yes. Because if that hadn't happened, I think it would have stopped that night. We were just doing it for our own fun.
Boredom.
Yeah, boredom.
Yeah, I mean, we always had an interest in supernatural, ghosts, and, we watch the shows, and, But it was because I'm like, oh my God, There's that, I think every ghost hunter out there will have that moment where, they're watching, all these TV shows and stuff like that, and you're like, is that real? And then it happens to you. And that's when you go, you know what? Maybe they're not all bull, Maybe there is something here. Okay, so for our next question, Heather Beth Rosmus asked us, what was your favorite paranormal experience together? That's an excellent question, and we've had many. And however, we kind of thought about this one. Sherry has her favorite, which I love also, but I have mine. And so
We got two favorite ones.
We have two favorite ones. So, Age Before Beauty, Sherry.
Hi. Mine is from our most recent one at Letchworth Village. And this is at the very end in solitary confinement. And it was creepy enough, like just discovering a room like this. Oh my. I mean, there's no lights in the place. We're practically underground. Dark, damp. I mean,
cold.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah. You know what? And if we would have even felt a cold spot, we wouldn't know it because it was so dang cold.
I think we felt a cold spot. We'd probably literally freeze solid.
Yeah, if we'd gotten any colder. Hey, by the way, I didn't even mention, remember the crickets that were on the wall?
Yeah.
The reason they probably didn't move is
Oh, they were frozen
They
there.
were frozen. That,
Oh, no,
that was their hibernation spot.
They were frozen there.
They were just hanging there waiting to thaw out for spring.
They were cricket sickles.
Yeah.
The
spiders?
No, the crickets.
Crickets.
Crickets or grasshoppers or something.
The cave crickets.
Are these even alive? Anyway. That's fun to say. Cricket sickles.
Cricket sickle.
Anyway.
Yeah, I made that observation a while ago. I forgot to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't. We'll play a little clip of this, but our spirit box session, it was spine tingling. Like, and even on the spot, we heard these responses.
Right.
It wasn't a mess up in our digital equipment, because sometimes you always wonder maybe that was a possibility.
Right, and we were in thick cement walls, practically
Yeah.
underground in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and we
was-
even explained, and you could hear it, that we're not picking up radio stations.
Yeah.
Like, no DJ voices are coming through from different stations and channels. It is pure static. And then the first thing that we hear was, "Help me." I just picked up a faint voice on the spirit box.
I did too. Yeah, I did exactly.
It almost sounded like a cry for help. Sustained like that over multiple sweeps. So even if it was a radio station, how does that linger in the air for that long? And then we got 3 more other responses that were intelligent as well. But that helped me just really. I think about it all the time, and I get chills.
Yeah, so as amazing that was to me. Mine goes back a year or so before that when we were in Gettysburg, and we were on the Sachs Bridge, and this is the first time we tried using our thermal. Now, the quick story of the Sachs Bridge. They said there were 3 soldiers that were hanged there. Well, while doing an EVP session, I was sweeping around with the thermal camera, and it was kind of chilly that night. It was maybe like 60 degrees and damp. We got these 3 heat spots on the ground. Exactly how 3 people might have been hanging.
Can you explain what you're seeing?
What I'm seeing right now, actually, I don't know if you can see this on the camera on this side. Basically, we are seeing what looks to be about the size of footprints on the ground.
Now, we went over this and over this. There was no electricity going through there. There was no reason for those spots to be hot. We thought maybe one of us was standing there. We actually debunked it there where we had Sherry move and like, no, it's not that warm there. We actually had Matt from Fixed Image. We had him go back there at another time, and he looked and he's like, he couldn't figure it out either.
Yeah, because someone had asked if there could have been birds' nests underneath the bridge to cause
rats
the heat
or something.
anything.
But even still, there's no way the heat of a rat is going to go through boards like that thick.
I know, and they were like really butted up against each other, where nothing could even get inside these boards. They were tight boards,
like nuclear rats underneath, radiating heat. It was like,
it's just an odd thing.
Right, that's the thing. I loved it just because it's not like ooh spooky. To me, it's like I just can't figure it out.
Yeah. So our next one is from a fairly recent follower.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and it is.
And thank you to all of you, by the way.
Yeah. Yes. And her name is Spooky Boo Bitch.
Spooky Boo Bitch.
Yes. And you gotta hold out the boo, I believe.
Ooh, how many
because,
O's? How many O's?
there is 4.
Four
So
of-
it's not Spooky Boo Bitch, it's
Spooky Boo Bitch. Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So, after she had followed us, like a lot of times that I do is I like to go to their profile and check them out to see who they are, and I'm so glad I did. Yeah, I was stalking you. I was sorry. No, but I just like to, see what's going on and, see, like, their stuff. But then she had this graveyard picture, and that really caught my eye. And she had a nice little story, and it's a creepy one. So I had asked her, would she let us use it in our Q&A, and she said yes. So I shall read it. Okay, so it starts off, I was like 19 and I was a rebel. On this day, a group of friends and I were going out drinking. As we were walking home during the witchy hours, our drunk mind decided to go to the most haunted cemetery in our town. One of the friends in the group has been here before and claims she's been chased out by the hellhounds. Just a random fact. Our town has lots of cemeteries and we are a small country town. And that's a story for a later time. We entered and walked around, trying to be goofy, but for some reason the whole group was quiet, holding hands. Yes, we were scared. And there was 5 of us. We came across an elderly woman's tombstone. The tombstone was beautiful. Lots of flowers, small statues of angels, and windmills. One of the friends of the group has experience with the paranormal. He guided us and we all said our names. He then asked her, "Ma'am, could you please spin the windmills to the right?" No joke, it turned right and no wind. We said, "Thank you." And he asked her again, "Can you spin it to the left?" And the spirit did just that. He then asked, "Do you want me to bring you a windmill? Give a sign if you do." As my friend was asking the last question, I was placing some flowers on her grave that I had picked on the way here. As I bent down to do so, we heard a woman scream like she was being murdered, and we took off running. I went back the day after, in the daytime, and we put roses on her grave, and none of us have been back ever since.
That's cool.
That's pretty creepy. I mean,
That's cool.
Imagine like being 19, you're all spooked out, having a good time, you know, and you're just standing there and that were to happen, like on command.
That's pretty cool. Very cool story, Boobitch.
Very cool. Thank you for your story.
Thank you. Susan on Facebook, she asked, how do you choose the place that you do your ghost exploration? Excellent question and multitude of answers. Some of the places are, you know, something we just kind of stumble upon through, you know, doing research on YouTube videos, or other people who say, "Oh, that's a cool thing. I would like to check that out," or hearsay. Sometimes we are invited there by another ghost hunter. Sometimes just dumb luck.
Yeah.
We've stumbled upon places just like,
Yeah, let's go check that out.
yeah, it's
You know?
interesting, and like, it's nothing. Oh, let me do a little research on this.
Yeah, and then whoa.
Whoa! Holy crap! You know, it's like, and it's exactly, and you don't take anything at face value. So
A lot of people will send us suggestions too, which we appreciate, by the way.
Exactly.
If you have heard of something, please send it to us, especially if you're from New Jersey, because we try to stick to the tri-state area right now. We would love to travel someday as we grow bigger. Hint, hint, hint. Reminder, subscribe.
tell your friends about us.
Share. Yeah. But, yeah, no, I mean, multiple sources, like, you know.
Right. And sometimes like, oh, you know, how about this place? I always wanted to do that, you know. So, really, and we won't rule anything out. If it's like feasible to do, we'll go do it, you know, no matter how we got the idea.
So our next question is from Heidi Cameron, 66, and she had asked, when you guys go into haunted places, how do you cleanse yourselves from energy? Well,
Babbo.
well, admittedly, right now, we have not been cleansing ourselves very well, leaving investigations, which we need to really start doing that more. But one of the ways we had thought about was, well, I had been told that we should actually cleanse our equipment leaving a place, you know, whether we maybe sage the car, you know, sage ourselves, you know, things like that, because you don't want to take anything home with you. You know,
No free rides, cuz.
But what we started recently doing before entering into a location, we have these stones, and it's clear quartz and black tourmaline. And Rob has black tourmaline, which you recently got on our
Yes.
Middletown State tour.
But that video will be coming out eventually.
Just real quick, hold on.
Come back.
Okay. So, what recently came is your part 2.
Okay, it's her birthday. I'm getting presents.
So, yeah, initially because I wanted us to both have clear quartz and black, but I could not find a combination in a necklace for him when I was in Colorado. So, she had actually mailed it to me after she had found it. So,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so if you want
And
to...
she kept the price tag on it, too. Okay.
Hey, now. Hey.
All right, he will never know.
As Rob puts that on,
That is like...
the clear quartz is supposed to be for helping you clear your mind so that when you're entering a location, you just can push out all negative thoughts, keep an open mind, allow spirits to come in, be more receptive to spirits, and the black is for negative energy. All right, so Rob has it on now. You missed the whole experience.
Yeah.
So,
I had a little trouble with my finger. I got fat fingers.
but it's on. It's on. So. Yay! So that is how we protect ourselves prior to entering a location. We hope we avoid negative energy. And we won't have to cleanse ourselves afterwards, but we really should do that.
Our next question comes from Hauntings and History on Instagram. And she has a 2-part question. Cheater. Her first question is, what was the scariest place you've been? And the second one is, what was the weirdest? So let's start with scariest. I think we can sum this up in 2 words.
Yeah.
Blue hole.
hole.
Now, you guys haven't seen this yet.
No. We promise it will be the next one coming out.
It does exist, I promise you.
Yeah, the Jersey Devil in the Pine Barrens. There was, what would you call that anyway? I mean, they're called blue holes, but
Yeah, it's
just
kind
like
of
a pond.
It looks like a pond, but it's fed from an underground spring. Many people actually have drowned there because, one, there's an underground, there's a downward current where people can been sucked down a little bit. That and the water, because of this underground spring, the water is always, doesn't matter, it could be 100 degrees out, the water is always like 50 degrees.
Yeah, so it's a shock to the system if you were to...
And it was known as the portal for the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
Because people would swim in there and they get pulled down by the Jersey Devil, and as you are, but wasn't the blue hole itself that was so scary, but the surrounding area.
Yeah, I mean, remember when it just felt really silent? You know, like you didn't hear a cricket or a bird chirping.
It was insane. You ever hear the expression, the silence is deafening? We really experienced this. I mean, you heard nothing. You didn't hear the wind rustling in the trees.
And then on top of it, I will say, for you who watch it, it's a little spoiler alert. We do the Estes method, but in a very unconventional way. And guess who got to be the guinea pig for that? Yours truly. I'm not going to describe what we did. You'll have to see it when it comes. But I will let you know this. If you've seen our intro, you can see it. It's on our channel right up at the top, or you might see it in a couple of episodes. When you see me with the clip, with the headphones on, the green lights, and I say, I don't want to do that again anytime soon. I meant it. I was legitimately freaked on that one.
And the scariest thing for me that happened there is, again, I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say we were doing an EVP session, and I got a response. We got a response, and it was an intelligent response. And but the thing that really got me is, remember the silence? The silence was deafening thing. Well, all of a sudden, when you hear a twig snap like 20 feet behind you, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't get jumpy too easily.
Yeah, what was it, on the ground or up in the trees?
I honestly don't know.
You don't know, because being up in the trees when it's concerning the Jersey Devil is even scarier. Because the Jersey Devil is known to sit in the trees, you know?
Right, I honestly don't know. Only it was about 20 feet behind me. And all of a
Oh my
sudden,
gosh.
nothing. I heard nothing. All of a sudden,
Oh my God.
you see when I do it too, because I know I just turn around with the flashlight, like, don't eat me. Anyway,
I guess I'll handle the part 2. What was the weirdest place?
clown brothel.
What?
What? Oh, you mean in our hunting? Okay, gotcha.
Now. So don't give all our secrets away. Please.
All right.
I think, in my opinion, it was at Gettysburg, near Devil's Den. And there is a spot right after the war ended, some photographers had come onto the ground to take some photographs for newspapers. I mean, even back then, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it was the media, you know. They saw a dead Confederate laying on the ground, but they didn't think it was good enough. You know, where he was laying.
Okay, that's horrible, but not horrible enough.
Not horrible enough, you know. So they dragged him across the way and propped him up on the rocks, which is more famously known as Devil's Den. And that would be a much better shot. And they took it, and I'll show you the picture now. This is the result right here.
It's not so much the spot itself is so weird, but what people do there is weird. People generally go there and reenact the dead guy. They will lay there on the ground and
be dead.
Exactly. And I don't know who would do something that terrible. We have one more comment we'd like to discuss here.
Yes. So Cello. I'm sorry. The numbers are small, but so Cello 208522 says you guys are awesome.
Aww.
And all I ask of yous is to always be safe and always guard your souls. Remember, your faith is your shield, and your prayers is your sword. Thank you so much. That was very nice.
Very
we
nice.
appreciate
Thank you very
that.
much.
Yes, and we promise to be as safe as we possibly can, always protect each other, guard each other, and
if we don't kill each other first.
Yeah, that's always a possibility. It's not off the table.
But it ain't happening, but no ghost is going to do it, all right? It's, you know. Well, for one, again, happy birthday, Sherry.
Thank you.
2, coming out soon, we have our Halloween special for this year, Jack a Ripper story. That will be posted on Halloween.
Yes, so please go hit it.
Yes, we want to hear your feedback on this because we think it's good. We want to know if you think it's good. So please let us know.
Well, thank you very much, everybody who left a question and a comment. We really appreciate it. That made our show.
We thank you so much. And we have one more thing coming up. Halloween!
Yay!
Happy Halloween, everyone! I mean, this is the time of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, get your spook on.